Hey everyone, it's Scott Galaxy with another episode of The Layman Video Gamer, and today we are looking at a kind of an interesting one because it wasn't released here in the States, it was only released in Europe. And as you can see here, this is FIFA 96 for the SEGA 32X. And the reason I bought this is because I'm a big soccer fan, first of all, but secondly, it's not region locked, so I can play this on my SEGA 32X. So I gotta say, just by looking at the box, and this is a note to Sega, not that it matters now, but why couldn't you do our boxes like you did for the SEGA 32X? This is a nice box. It kind of feels like I'm opening up a VHS tape. At any rate, the packaging aside, which again is much better than what we got here in the States, it of course comes with a manual on how to play. It also comes with a number of different languages as well, being that it was released in Europe. And let's just pop this thing in and see what it looks like. So I have to start off by saying I actually like the music. The music in this is pretty nice. And when you hit the game setup screen, you can see there's a lot of different options here. I'll just go through these real quick for you. You can play a friendly, you could start a league, you could start a tournament, create playoffs, and of course you can restore a game you've already started. And of course you can restore a league or tournament or playoffs that you've already started. And no matter what you pick, whether it's friendly, league, tournament, or playoffs, the great thing about this particular game, especially compared to what we had before, which my previous iteration was the Sega CD version, which only had international soccer teams. This one, you can pick a team from whatever part of the world you want, or at least most of them, including the United States, which for some reason doesn't have an LA team. Are you kidding me? Luckily, I'm also a Premier League fan, so it is fun to go through and see which teams were included, because some of these teams just aren't in the Premier League anymore. So it's fascinating to me. Now, if we go into the options, you'll see a bunch of different things you can do. You can change the languages, the skill level, the camera, which I'll go through in a little bit, the half lengths, whether you want to control the goalkeeper or not, levels of fouls, turning on injuries, offsides, and whether or not you want the power bar on or not. If you want a continuous clock, or if it stops when it goes out of bounds, weather, sound, yada, yada, yada. You know, your typical stuff. So once you pick what you're going to do, friendly, tournament, playoffs, whatever, it'll take you to the team select. And here you can see each team based on international teams, club teams. It'll show you the ratings for each of the different skills that they possess, like shooting, passing, running, tackling, attack, goalie, overall. And then once you decide what team you want, you can then even toggle the team coverage, team formations, your strategy. I mean, it's pretty in-depth. And once you finally get to starting the game, you'll see why this game is a little bit more special than, say, the 16-bit version. Now, it's likely I don't need to point this out, but I will. The biggest difference, of course, is the field is 3D, but the players themselves are 2D sprites. So it's a bit of a mix. And of course, it's going to showcase what the 32X can do. It'll zoom out if a ball gets kicked far or high up into the air, then it'll zoom back in. It looks really nice. Now, as far as gameplay goes, this is going to remind you a lot of the Sega CD version, the International, FIFA International Sega CD soccer game. Even though it does have an isometric view, the control is still very, very similar. And by that, I mean, it's going to be difficult at times. It's going to be frustrating at times. And even if you're playing on like semi-pro, it's still a little difficult to score. But I have happened to win some games, but I lose more times than not. And that may just speak to my skill. Who knows? But prepare yourself. This is going to be a little harder than maybe you think. Now, like I said, the main attraction for this game, the reason it's so special is the 3D field and the camera views that show you that field. So let's go through the camera options real quick just to show you the differences. I personally like the default setting, which is the stadium view, but you have a number of options you can choose from. And they all look really cool. I mean, it's a really cool feature that you just wouldn't get with a 16-bit soccer game. So is it worth it? I mean, I would compare this to the 3DO version. Very similar without the CD quality audio. Although I will say, like I said, the audio quality in this is actually pretty decent. There is no commentary yet. They hadn't gotten to that point yet. But overall, the sound of the crowd and the ambiance, they did a really nice job. But I would say if you're a fan of soccer, you're a fan of the Mega 32X or Sega 32X, yeah, you should get it. You should get it because it is one of those games that you just won't find on any other system. And of course, like I said earlier, it's not region locked, so you can play it on a Sega 32X or a Mega 32X. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please support my channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. And let me know what else you're interested in. So while I'm going to drop off here and call it a day, I'm going to let the gameplay play a little bit if you just want to watch a little bit of the gameplay. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Layman Video Gamer.